Welcome back, friends. Today we are going to paint a birthday cake. The colors that you use for your background in your cake are very much up to you. I'm going to make my background a teal and pink color. My cake's going to be a chocolate cake. So the colors that you need today are white, blue, green. I have 2 spots of white, one for mixing and one for not. Black. I've also got 2 spots of green. One is going to be for my background teal and the other one is going to be for my leaves on my cake. Brown, red, pink, and yellow. So let's do that again. 2 greens, 2 whites, blue, black, brown, red, pink, and yellow. The brushes you're going to need are your medium flat brush and then 2 round brushes, a small and medium round brush. Don't forget to always have your handy dandy rag close to you, as well as a cup to wash your brushes off. So let's get started. I am going to start with my wall color, and that wall color is going to be a teal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some green paint. I'm not using a whole lot of green. I definitely want it to be more of a bluish teal. I'm going to be using lots more blue paint. It's almost double the amount of blue paint. And then I'm going to wipe my brush off and I'm going to use a lot of white. I want my teal color to be a very light teal. So I'm trying to do about double the amount of blue, which is double the amount of green. So I am using a lot of white on this background. So I want it to be a light color. So you can mix this on your paint palette, or you can mix it right here on your canvas. I tend to like to mix it on my canvas. So after you have that, what we're going to do is we are going to create a line, and this is going to be where our table and our wall meet. And this line is going to be pretty low to the bottom. I've got 11 by 14 canvas, and I'm going to make mine about 2 inches from the bottom. And then we are going to paint this background in with all these great colors. Now, a lot of times when we do backgrounds, we want to have a really nice, neat, horizontal or vertical line to it. But on this background, we want to have a texture to it. So I'm just going to make little X's all over my canvas because I really want to have a textured background to this. I don't really need all the colors mixed in perfectly. I just want a textured background to this. Make sure I hit all my spots up. Yep, that's exactly what I'm going for. Now what I am going to do while I have my paintbrush right here and my paint is wet, I'm going to smooth out the area that my cake is going to go. Okay? I'm going to smooth out the area my cake is going to go because all of these bumps would be really hard to paint a nice smooth cake over. So I am going to do a 2-tiered cake. So directly in the middle of my canvas right here, I am going to create, just by pulling paint off, I've got a lot of paint on there right now. Just by pulling paint off, I'm going to create a rectangle. And this rectangle is not going to be huge. So I'm just going to pull off paint in the shape of a rectangle. You can even use like a baby wipe or a wet rag if you want. It's kind of remove some of that extra paint. It does not have to be all the way gone. I'm just trying to smooth it out. So if you want to use a baby rag or a baby wipe or a rag just to kind of remove some of that extra paint, you can. But what you're looking for is just to kind of smooth out that rectangle shape so that you don't have all of that chunky color on it. So once I've got my first rectangle done, I am making a 2-tiered cake. In fact, I'm doing this painting to celebrate my 39th birthday. And so I'm going to do a 2-tiered cake, which means on the top of this, I'm going to add a smaller rectangle. And again, I'm just going to pull that paint off. Now you're going to just have your outline of where your cake is going to be. At this point, you could decide if you want to have a bigger cake or a smaller cake. Because if you think this cake is too small, you can give it a third tier, or you can just make all of your rectangles a little bit bigger. Perfect. So you need to make that decision for you. Is your cake big enough, or do you want a bigger cake? Now for my cake stand, again, I'm just gonna kind of outline where my cake stand is gonna go, which means I'm gonna take one brush stroke that is longer. It's gonna be just a little bit longer off the bottom of my cake. It's a little bit longer. And then I'm gonna do my cake stand. My cake stand, again, I'm just trying to smooth it out a little bit. I'm just gonna do a very easy cake stand. You know, maybe you wanna have some decorative elements to your cake stand. But I'm just gonna pull my cake stand down a little bit. Perfect. Now my cake is lined out and ready to go. I'm gonna wash my brush off and I'm gonna paint the bottom of my canvas, which is going to be my table. And I'm going to paint this in a light pink color. So I'm gonna use both the color pink and the color white. And I'm using a lot more white. And I'm just gonna paint this in. Now I am gonna have this be more of a smooth table rather than the chunky wall covering that I have. I have a really nice wallpaper hanging up in this room apparently. That textured wallpaper. Pull that across nice and neat. Smooth it out. And then I'm going to wash my brush off and let my picture dry a little bit. When we come back, we will put our cake and our cake details on. I'll see you guys in just a minute.